All right, girls. I hope the PowerPoint is visible now. We will start with business meetings. We will see what are business meetings, how business meetings are conducted. Okay, in order to conduct the meeting, first you have to send the notice, agenda, and then you have to draft the minutes of the meeting. Right? So what are the duties of the chairperson in the meeting, and what are the duties of the other members? All these things we will see in detail. Let us begin with business meetings. First of all, a meeting consists of two or more individuals. As we know that in a meeting, in order to organize a meeting, at least more than two individuals should be there, right? It's meant for discussion, so obviously you need people for discussing. More than two individuals, two or more individuals, right? They assemble to discuss an issue, to resolve a conflict, to exchange the views, to think on a problem, or to transit information. So all these are the purposes of a business meeting. Okay, either to discuss an issue, right? Some problem is there in the organization, to discuss upon that issue, to resolve conflict between various departments. For example, it is there, right? So to in order to solve that conflict, resolve that conflict, a meeting is organized. To exchange views, to think upon a problem, to devise a new strategy, right? To promote sales or anything, right? So all these are, or to just simply convey information, right? To pass on information. So all these are the purposes of a business meeting. Thus, we can say that a meeting is a formally arranged gathering for the purpose of discussing an issue that concerns a large number of persons. So, what is a business meeting? It is a formally arranged gathering, right, in which more number of people are have gathered, and they discuss upon some important issue which is going to affect the organization, or which is for the benefit of the organization, right? And it is concerning the members of the organization. The examples of this kind of business meetings are the departments, the different various departments of the organization. They may come together and discuss upon departmental coordination or something like that, or the issues between the departments. Okay. Management and employees, there can be a discussion between the management and the employees. Companies meetings, board meetings, and other meetings, right? Now we will see the types of meetings. We can see that very formal meetings. There can be very formal meetings. The examples of very formal meetings are parliamentary meeting, for example, the parliament, company shareholders, management union, university senate meeting, council and executive bodies. These are very, very formal meetings. Okay, and formal meetings are meetings of the committee members, right? Managing council, advisory board, management, etc. Okay, so formal meetings only we are concerned here with. They have pre-established procedures. This is our main part of concern. That is, here we are concerned how to write a notice, okay, how to draft an agenda, what is a quorum, how to draft, how to write the minutes of the meeting, right? So, whenever you are organizing a formal meeting, all these procedure has to be followed, right? Notice has to be taken out, agenda of the meeting has to be specified, right? And when the meeting is conducted, minutes of the meeting have to be written. Informal meetings such as group discussions, meeting of task groups, and brainstorming sessions. These kind of meetings are, held on day-to-day basis in an organization. They are just brainstorming sessions basically, where the different group of people, they will just, deliberate upon an issue and come out with a solution. Or 5 6 members of, or the team leader will call a meeting, and the team conducts a meeting and deliberate upon some problem. So these kind of informal meetings, when you hold an informal meeting, they do not require a kind of notice, agenda. Quorum is also not necessary. Quorum is what? Quorum is fixed number of members you require in order to conduct that meeting. So all these things are not required in a informal meeting, right? But we are here concerned with formal meetings, where we need to see what is a notice, we need to see what is an agenda, and what is quorum, how we have to draft the minutes of the meeting, right? So basically the meetings are of two types: formal meeting and informal meeting. Okay. Formal meeting requires strict procedures of notice, agenda, minutes of the meeting, quorum, all these formalities it requires. But when it's a simple brainstorming session between the employees, all these formalities of a meeting are done away with. They do not require notice and agenda and all these things. I hope you all are clear. Okay, now we will see the advantages and disadvantages of a meeting. Advantages. It permits discussion. Here, obviously, holding a meeting has more number of advantages. You benefit from it because your group of people come together. Each person will have his or her own point of view, and so that we will be benefited from the expertise of the members, right? So this discussion is there, which will permit multiple point of view. Second is social and emotional support. Employees taking part in the decision are more loyal, right? So second important advantage of meeting is that a kind of bonding gets established between the employees, right? If there is a problem which the company is facing, which the organization is facing, and the members come together to deliberate upon it, then there is a kind of emotional support, social support, that together we can resolve this issue, right? It kind of motivates a democratic way of functioning, okay, where individual opinions are respected, individual views are respected. So third advantage of conducting a meeting is that instead of one person sitting in a cabin and ruling, okay, in an autocratic manner, this calling a meeting, discussing the problem, discussing with the employees, inspires a democratic way of functioning, where each member can put forward their own opinion and views, and in this way, a kind of democracy is established. Okay. Easier access to info. Advantages for managers to keep in touch with the members. So when one person sits in one cabin, we do not know what goes on in the organization. So when you call a business meeting, it becomes easier for the authority to gain access or information about what is going on, right? So it is a very easier way to get information regarding what is going on, and at the same time establish coordination, or establish touch with the members. Okay, get in touch with the members. So these are the advantages of a meeting, right? First thing is we get lot of opinions of the other people are collected. So this is the first benefit. We can benefit from the expertise of various people. For example, if accountancy department is there and some person is expert in some finance, so that person can give the expert opinion. Some person is very good at marketing skills, so that person will give the expert opinion from that point of view. So the expertise of various people can be accumulated to solve a problem, right? And as I told you, it is when a company is going through a period of crisis or any problem which is very difficult to resolve, and when people get together, it motivates them it gives them a kind of emotional and social support, right? And at the same time, we can function in a democratic way, because here the opinion of different people, they are taken into consideration, and you feel a part of the organization, that your opinion matters. Moving further, let us see what are the disadvantages of conducting a meeting. Obviously, it is time consuming, it is expensive, right? You have to draft a notice, you have to, look into the agenda, right? You have to call, you have to have a place where you can conduct the meeting, right? So all these things are will take time, and it will be expensive also. Okay. Meeting may end without conclusion. Second point is, sometimes the time is wasted only in deliberations, only in discussions, and the end result is nothing, right? If one or two people have, if two people have to take a decision, it will be done very quickly, right? Not much time will be wasted. But when you involve more heads, when you involve more people in the thinking process, everybody will have their own opinion, and it may lead to lengthy discussions. Many a time, these kind of business meetings, they just remain discussions, and there is no end result, right? They do not conclude giving any solid, solutions, right? Without solution, the meeting just ends, because the whole time is wasted only in discussions, right? What is the another disadvantage? Persons take meeting lightly without preparation, right? So without preparation, sometimes when you call a meeting, the people don't even take the pains to read the agenda. They just come to the meeting without preparation in a boring manner, and just whatever the topic is going on, without knowing the head or tail of it, jump into the discussion and waste time. So this is another disadvantage that is on the part of the persons who are taking part in the meeting. If no competent chairperson is there, then useless talk, frustrating feelings from others to express opinions, right? So it very much, the success of a business meeting depends very much upon the role of a chairperson. So in case if the chairperson is not competent, he will not be able to steer the meeting in to rightful discussion, right? The people may talk, digress out of the topic, discussions may take place, useless talk may take place, right? And it may become very frustrating, right? So all these are the disadvantages of a meeting. But important point here to remember is that all these disadvantages can be overcome by training the leaders and the participants. So whosoever is the chairperson, they have, if they fulfill their duties properly, if the participants engage in healthy discussions and deliberations, then these disadvantages can be eliminated. Okay. I hope you are getting girls, right? You can write to me in the chat box, no problem. If you have any doubts, I hope you are clear till here. Okay, good. Right? So now we will see into the preparations for a meeting. What are the things that you will keep in mind for preparing a meeting? Yes. If it is clear, we will move forward. Yes. What are the preparations for a meeting? Let us discuss this. Okay. First thing is, written communication of the meeting should be there. We have to communicate in the form of notice of the meeting, agenda of the items to be discussed, and minutes of the meeting. So these things have to be kept in mind. Okay, what support we should do, what are the points to be kept in mind while preparing for the meeting. First thing is we have to prepare the notice of the meeting. Second is we have to prepare the agenda. Agenda means the purpose of the meeting. Agenda reflects the purpose of the meeting, that what points we are going to discuss in that meeting. If our agenda is not framed, right? अगर agenda नहीं लिखा हुआ है, if the agenda is not framed, then people may digress, right? They may discuss another different points, and digress from the main topic of the meeting, the main purpose of the meeting. So agenda has to be very clear. And the third point is that somebody, usually the secretary, has to write the minutes of the meeting. So this is another important point. Okay, now what we will see here is what other written material we have to take. See, first thing is, first we will prepare a list of participants. Excuse me. Yes, now I will continue. There was some disturbance, that's why. Okay, so first thing is we have to prepare a list of participants. Okay, we have to prepare that who are the people who are going to participate in the meeting, right? If the meeting is concerning the departmental heads, so who are the departmental heads? Which are the department? What are the names of those people? So only to those people we will circulate the notice of the meeting and the agenda of the meeting. Understood, girls? So, important thing is first we have to decide upon who are the people who will take part in the meeting, who are the participants in this meeting, right? Second thing is we have to decide upon the date. We have to fix a date of the meeting. We have to fix what will be the time of the meeting, and we have to fix on what place. Okay, we have to fix the venue of the meeting, that where the meeting will be conducted. Okay, then third point what you have to keep in mind is notice which agenda has to be sent 1 week before the meeting. So whenever we are conducting the meeting, we have to keep in mind that at least 1 week prior to the meeting, we have to send the notice along with the agenda. Convener is responsible for calling the meeting. So the convener is basically the organizer. Convener is basically the organizer who is responsible here for calling the meeting. Okay, and when the meeting is going on, okay, or before the meeting, the secretary, the convener will take help of the secretary in order to make all the arrangements pertaining to the meeting. Secretary may be given the task, may be assigned the task of arranging for the meeting, right? So this is all, these are all the things which we need to keep in mind for preparing of a meeting, right? First thing is notice. Okay, and in the notice what you will what you will write, you have to mention the date of the meeting, that when the meeting is going to be conducted, what is the timing of the meeting, and what is the venue of the meeting, right? That at which place the meeting is going to be conducted. Second important thing is that along with the notice, we have to attach the agenda. Okay, agenda means the purpose of the meeting, that what are the points to be discussed in the meeting, that comprises the agenda. And then we have to look upon this important point, list of participants, that who are the people who will be attending the meeting, right? All these things, notice and agenda, right, has to be sent to the concerned people, to the concerned participants 1 week before the meeting. Okay, and the person who is responsible for calling this meeting, that is known as the convener, and the secretary is also going to help the convener in making the arrangements for the meeting. Now we will see to the physical preparation, what physically, how you will arrange the room, because it is a formal structure, formal meeting. So a lot of things have to be kept in mind. From a bottle of water till the presentations which are going to be done in the meeting. So every minute detail has to be kept in mind for arranging a meeting. Let us see them. Let us see the room arrangements which need to be taken care of if you want to arrange a formal business meeting, okay, or any kind of formal meeting. Okay, first thing is proper ventilation should be there, lighting and the microphone should be there. So you must have seen, proper, business meetings, or you must have seen the administrative meetings, right? All these, they have a, big room, kind of, round table, where all these arrangements are there, ventilation is there, good amount of air circulation should be there in a room. It should not be in a very congested place, because many people are going to take part, many people, there will be participants, right, dignitaries also. So obviously it should be having a proper ventilation. Lighting should be clear, lighting should be there. It should not be a very dark kind of room, right, where you do not where it is not comfortable, right, because during discussion you need air, light, right, a good amount of air and light. So these things should be kept in mind, right? If more number of people are there, okay, large number of people are there, many people are going to take part. So obviously everybody does not have a very loud voice. So at that point of time, it microphones can be arranged, right, at near the seats, microphones can be kept for the convenience of the participants. Chairs and tables, face-to-face situation, square, rectangular table for a small group. So depending upon how many participants are there, we will make these kind of physical arrangements, right? You can arrange a square table or a rectangular table or a round table. So all these things, oval table, right? So all these things depends on how many number of participants are going to be there, right? So these you have to arrange the chair and table in a comfortable manner, so that the participants are able to listen to one another, see one another, and communicate face to face. Long rectangular table for less than 20 people, right? So a simple long table is enough. A conference room table is just enough for 20 people, but a U-shaped arrangement for a group of 50 participants. So you must have seen a U-shaped table, right, where the seating capacity is more, and if a group is more, if the number of participants are more, up to 50, then this kind of U-shape arrangement can be made. Theater type arrangement for a large group where participation is reduced, right? So as we see in the parliamentary structure, how the tables are, how each seat, how each chair has a microphone, right? And in this kind of a theater type arrangement is there, right? But there the participation will be less. Few people will be allowed to speak, right? But others can definitely give their suggestions. Everybody will have a microphone in if they want to speak something. Place cards or boards to indicate the sitting arrangement, nameplates to know each other's names. So this kind of formal business meetings has this kind of structure, where usually the participants nameplate is prepared, right, and the nameplate is placed so that the people will know where to sit. And at the same time, if the if there are different people who are going to participate or deliberate, right? If you have called people from different, suppose it is a multinational company, and different branches it has in different countries, right? And then you arrange a business meeting where you call the branch heads, or which are residing in different countries. They have never met. Okay, so it is easier if the nameplates are prepared and are kept, right? So that the people will know also that who the other person is, right? So this kind of formal, very very formal arrangement can also be made. Okay, yeah, this is a most important point. Okay, so sitting arrangement, it all depends upon how many number of people are going to participate, right? Whether this meeting is on a small scale, on a or a very very formal meeting where you are calling people from outside, from different cities are going to participate, from different countries are going to participate. So it all depends upon that, right? So chair, table, and sitting arrangement, name plates, all depends upon how many people are participating and what kind of a meeting it is. But yes, this is, I think, common in all the meetings, maybe, right? Said that, for example, overhead projectors, when there has to be a presentation, and most of the business meetings will have a presentation, so we should have these kind of projector arrangement, or we should have a board where this slides, PowerPoint slides, or whatever the professional slides the people have prepared, that can be shown, right? Operator, overhead projectors should be set up and focused, and an operator should be there to attend to it, or if the person want, they can attend there on their own also. Pointers must be provided, at least when you are attending, opening, attending your PowerPoint presentation on your own, you should be provided with pointers so that there is no difficulty. Okay, if for the purpose of explanations, for where graphs or charts or other things have to be discussed, all these things should be there. Okay, whiteboard or a chalk, right? Duster or pen, marker pen, all these things should be there if they have to explain, right? Some kind of charts, figures have to be explained, so all these things should be there. Stationery in the form of notepads, pen, pencil, paperweights, clips, staplers, files, all these things should be there, you know. So if the participants in the meeting, they need to take notes, right? So they should have notepads with, kept in front of them, so that it becomes easier for them to take notes, right? Paperweight should be there. Secretary is entrusted with the duty to take notes, right? So whatever goes on in the meeting, whatever the participants are discussing, if a person is giving some important idea, important point, right? And whatever strategies they are discussing, or whatever conclusions we are reaching to, okay, all those things have to be noted down by the secretary, right? The secretary will not write long long sentences, but will note it down in short, right? So that afterwards, after taking these kind of notes from the meeting, the minutes of the meeting can be drafted, right? So this is very important, that the secretary of the meeting, before starting the meeting only, secretary is already informed that the secretary has to take notes, right? So the secretary will not write in long long sentences, but in a manner which he or she can understand, right? Because in short, the notes will be written, and after the meeting is over, right, in a time period of 1 week or so, the secretary will have to draft the formal minutes of the meeting, right? Minutes of the meeting are nothing but what we have, what has been done in that meeting, what were the points which were discussed, what were the conclusions which were drawn. All this has to be written, okay, in a written format it should be there. So the secretary plays a very, very crucial role in a meeting, because the secretary is the person who will record all the things which are going on in the meeting, whatever the topics have been discussed, whatever the points have been discussed, whatever new strategies or whatever new ideas, if any of the participant has given, all these things have to be noted down by the secretary. Okay, so if it's a very long meeting, sometimes refreshments or break arrangements are also there in the meeting, that people will take break for a little period of time. Obviously, water and glasses should be there, so that it may, a person may speak for a very long time or give a long presentation. So obviously, you should have a glass of water for everybody there. For outstation participants, accommodation should be made arranged, tickets and all. It depends upon company to company, whatever arrangements they can provide to outstation participants. Okay. So these are, we have discussed about how to make the room arrangements and other arrangements, right? So these have to be kept in mind if ever you also organize a meeting, right? If you become a convener of the meeting, or you become the secretary of the meeting, all these things are very, very important. It will be helpful to you in for your future, right? So this kind of business meetings, one should know what to do, how to do, what are the arrangements to be done, right? What are the what this is a I will just discuss very quickly the checklist, and then we can stop. I will ask questions later on. So let us first discuss this checklist very quickly. What is the checklist for meeting arrangements? Sufficient number of chairs should be there, properly arranged, they should be properly arranged. Nameplates, you will put a check if you have the nameplates arranged. A writing material should be there, pointer should be there. Sound equipment, right? Sometimes microphones are there, but they are not working. So, you have to have workable sound equipments, working sound equipments. Projection equipments should be there. They should be properly tested, focused, properly cleaned lens they should have. Okay, so it should not be there that you have on the projector and the person who is doing the presentation, but it is not clear only. The PPT is not visible only. The PowerPoint is not visible only. So you should have cleaned lens, and all these things have to be checked prior only. Okay. Provision of darkening for the room. Sometimes too much of brightness is there in the room, then also the PowerPoint will not be visible. So that also you have to see that at least there should be provision for darkening of the room, right? That whenever necessary, when it is necessary, that you need to make the room a little dark in order for the PowerPoint to be visible clearly. So that kind of provision should be there. Facilities for display screen, whiteboard, whiteboard, okay, and markers, all dusters, all these things should be there. Extension cords should be there, and they should be placed in such a manner that no disaster ever takes place. Somebody should not trip over it and fall, right? Water and glasses. Last thing is water and glasses. So all things I think we have covered. These are the things which you will keep in mind when you need to arrange a business meeting. Okay, so all these preparations should be there. Okay, any doubts, girls? You can ask me in the chat box if you have any doubts. I will elaborate on that point. No doubt? Absolutely no doubt? Okay, right. So what we saw today was what is a business meeting? Okay. Then what are the types of business meeting? That is formal and informal. For formal business meetings, you require notice, you require agenda, you require quorum, and you need to draft the minutes of the meeting. What is quorum? That I will discuss in detail later on. What is a notice? What is agenda? what are minutes of a meeting and or what are all these formalities, that is notice, agenda, quorum, minutes of the meeting. All these things I will discuss in detail, but all these things are required in a formal meeting and they are not required in a informal meeting. Okay, advantages and disadvantages we saw, right? That advantages are many, right? And the disadvantages of the meeting can be eliminated if leaders are trained, that is the chairperson, and participants, if they play their role properly, then the disadvantages can be eliminated. Basically, calling a business meeting is advantageous because it promotes a kind of brainstorming. It promotes discussion, healthy discussion, and conclusions can be reached in a democratic manner. So this is the advantage. Now, what are the preparations? We have seen the preparations, right? Notice of the meeting has to be there. Agenda of the items which should be there, right? Minutes of the meeting have to be drafted. Who are the people who are going to participate in the meeting? That has to be made clear. The list of all those participants has to be made. And then we saw the room arrangements. Okay, so more important is this, right? More important is that notice and agenda which we have to draft. How many people, which are you going to call? Who are the people that you will call in the meeting? Who are the participants? That is more important, right? So making preparations of the meeting comprises of all these things along with the room arrangements. Okay, so I will stop the presentation now. This much we will complete today, and we will from next time, we will see what are the duties of the chairperson. Okay, next time we will look into this. So I will stop the presentation. Okay, so any doubts anybody has? You can ask me in the chat box if you have any kind of doubts. No doubts? Okay, fine. Right? All right, then I will just stop end the recording over here, and then I will quickly take up your attendance. Give me a moment, girls.